Hello everyone and welcome to what is a stormy Ottawa, Ontario today. Now the skies have cleared up for the game and hopefully we can get underway. There's been a lot of lightning storms, but hopefully it will be a great day for some soccer. Jenna Mosier alongside me, Tyler McDonald, and we're set for what is a very tough matchup for the Ottawa Fury FC, facing #1 in the Eastern Conference, the Charlotte Independents, who are riding a 12-game unbeaten streak. For Charlotte, that confidence has to steamboat into this game.
Yeah, and the Ottawa Fury needs to step up, and usually when you play a team that's, on a streak like they are, you step up to the plate and you play just as hard. I mean, let's remember how the Fury played against Toronto FC. They came out guns blazing, and now they're going to do it again.
Now, last game, Ottawa Fury came out and they lost 2-1 to the Bethlehem Steel here at home at TD Place. And it was a game where the Fury started off strong. It looked like that they were going to grab that win, but things broke down in the second half. They didn't come out with the same motivation, it seemed like, as they did with the first half. What needs to change? Of course, it has to be a full 90-minute effort tonight if you're going to want to get 3 points from Charlotte.
Yeah, what I think happened is it was a very, very physical game, and they did have quite a significant size advantage. So when you play such a physical game, it does take a lot out of your players. That's when you got to go back to your bench, see who can come in, maybe make some changes that maybe weren't made at the right time by Coach Dalglish. So I think they were just physically beaten that second half. So hopefully they can keep up their, keep their wind this game. And yeah, it's going to be a good one. I think this is going to be a surprising game.
2 game notes before we go into this one. Shane McElhinney, the defender for Ottawa Fury FC, will be suspended for 3 games coming to this one after his 84th minute challenge was changed from a yellow to red card in the last game versus Bethlehem as well. Nick Depew will be starting up top for Ottawa Fury FC. He's back from Montreal on loan here. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have Graham Ivory and AJ Jackie back on the call. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
Herrera, he put it in from the corner. Jorge Herrera, the Olympico.
Puts it into the box, headed down, and there's the veteran, Jorge Herrera. Has 15 credit already.
Whoa, what a steal there. And a fake and a shot, what a save. The header, a goal. The Charlotte Independents, here comes the celebration. Jorge Herrera. Beautiful pass, a shot and a save. Second attempt to goal. And look who it is, Jorge again. The cross, the shot and a goal for the Jacks. That is number 2 of the day.
This one's locked it in. Good look for Sacramento. Off the line, a save by Spencer Ritchie. And it was Chris Christian.
What a save. World-class save right there by Spencer Ritchie going down to his right.
What, he saves it. Unbelievable.
That's absolutely world-class from Moise Poitier. That ball's behind him. He reaches up and tips that one over the corner. Just superb from Moise Poitier. What a save by the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC #1. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. He guesses right, takes the step out, reaches back behind him and tips that ball over. That is absolutely sensational by the Switchbacks #1.
He's perfect defender.
Peterhausen tries to get it inside for Brown. Goes simply shot, knocked away. Nice play.
He's hit that volley perfectly and it's creeping into the bottom corner, and the keeper's done ever so well to get down there with a strong hand and push that away from goal.
Welcome back inside TD Place. AJ Jackie back alongside Graham Ivory, and tonight Ottawa with a tall task as they try to end a 12-game unbeaten streak. Charlotte Independents tops in USL East. How do they pull that off here this evening against the hottest team in USL?
Well, 8 wins, 4 draws in their last 12 matches. Haven't lost since the 7th of June. They did play midweek against TFC2 in a 2-2 draw in Toronto, so hopefully some tired legs will prove to the advantage of Ottawa Fury FC.
Let's have a look at the starting 11 of both sides, and it's brought to you by Gabriel Pizza, Ottawa's bigger, better pizza, 310-7777. There you see the lineup for Ottawa as Callum Irving is the keeper. You've got Kyle Venter, Ramon Martin Del Campo, Andre Campbell, and Eddie Edward at the back. In front of them, Lance Roseboom and Jonathan Barden. Then it's Carl Howarth, Gerardo Bruna, and Azaki Lubayera. Nick Depew comes over this week to help out from Montreal Impact, is the lone striker up front. The subs on the bench: Cito, Tucker Hume, Ryan Williams, Adonai Reid, Sergio Medicio, David Palme, and Jamar Dixon. For Charlotte, Cody Mizell, the keeper. A back four of Austin Yearwood, Luke Wechter, Bilal Duckett, the captain, and Joel Johnson. David Estrada and Callum Ross in front of them. And Jorge Herrera, Lewis Hilton, Jan Ekra. The striker up top is Enzo Martinez. Martinez, the Uruguayan, and Herrera, the Colombian. 12 goals each to pace the Charlotte attack. That's the same amount of goals combined as Ottawa scored all season.
Yeah, remarkable offensive output from the Charlotte Independents this season. AJ, 42 goals for, 24 goals against. And when you look at those numbers over the course of their last 12 games during this impressive unbeaten run, 28 goals for and just 10 goals against. They're getting it done effectively at both ends of the pitch.
Fury moving right to left in the opening half with their all-red home kits, red shirts, red shorts, red socks, as it's played back by Eddie Edward to the keeper, Callum Irving. And for this Charlotte team, they're all white kits, white shirts, white shorts, white socks, moving left to right in the opening half. Charlotte first in USL East, 40 points in 20 matches, 8 wins and 4 draws in their last 12. So they are the top team in USL, but also the hottest. 3 points up on both Charleston and Tampa Bay, but they've also got 2 games in hand on both Louisville and Rochester, are 5 back, so not quite home and away, home and done, I guess, in terms of wrapping up first in USL East, but certainly in a pretty good spot. Ottawa 10th in USL East, so 2 back of a playoff spot, 2 places back, 3 points back, but they do have games in hand on the teams ahead of them. 3 games in hand and 3 points back of New York, and 1 back and 2 games in hand on Orlando, as it's a 3rd-minute corner for Charlotte as they work in this right-footed in-swinger from the far corner flag, and Callum Irving will grab it in the 3rd minute as we get to our keys to an Ottawa victory. Graham Ivory.
3 keys to an Ottawa victory here tonight, AJ. Key number 1, Mother Nature. It is wet, it might get windy, the turf will be very fast, and the turf could even be slippery at times, and there might even be weather delays as this game progresses. Another storm front looks like it may arrive around 7:30, quarter to 8. So something that Ottawa will need to battle throughout the course of the evening, and patience is going to be key. Key number 2, 2 goals. Fury FC have a record of 4 wins, 2 draws, and just 1 loss when they score 2 or more goals this season, but have won just twice in 7 games when conceding 2 or more. And key number 3, well, you talked about it in the pregame show, AJ. Silence Martinez and Herrera. Enzo and Martinez and Jorge Herrera have each scored 12 goals this season. Over 50% of Charlotte's offense has gone through this dynamic duo, and Ottawa will need to shut them down tonight.
Here's Bruna, middle of the park, about 40 yards out. Plays this on the right side for Kyle Venter as it's swung in and cleared away on that cross. And it will be a free kick for Charlotte as referee today, Carol Ann Chenard. Assistants are Peter Penley and Michael Barwagon. Chris Grabus is the 4th official. Here's a foul and a free kick going Charlotte's way as Lewis Hilton, the Englishman, was dumped, and it's going to be a yellow card in the 5th minute for Ottawa captain Lance Roseboom.
Lewis Hilton in his 2nd season with the Charlotte Independents. The Englishman who Had also played in the PDL with the Ocala Stampede, has 3 goals on the year for Charlotte. That is the 4th most on the team. David Estrada playing next to Hilton tonight. He has 4 goals, and then of course the 2 guys up top in Martinez and Herrera, each with 12 to really set the pace. And it's remarkable to think that you have 1 guy on a team scoring 12, AJ, but to have 2, you can certainly understand why Charlotte finds themselves atop the standings in the USL Eastern Conference.
Should remind you that Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. A little more on that weather. Thunder showers throughout the day. I mean, there was a nasty thunderstorm that went through downtown Ottawa earlier this afternoon, but could be coming back at some point tonight. Right now, 20 degrees Celsius, so 68 Fahrenheit. There are showers throughout the city right now, so certainly weather could play a factor, as you mentioned, and we're just hoping that there's no lightning in the area and no delays. We expect some rain, but right now it's just relatively humid out there for the players, but again, with not a lot of heat at 20 degrees or 68 Fahrenheit. Goal kick for Ottawa in the 7th minute, 0-0. For Ottawa, this the last of 4 straight at home. They had talked about getting 10 points over this 4-game stretch. That impossible now, as they've picked up 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 draw during this stretch, which is kind of the MO of this team this year. 6 wins, 6 draws, 7 losses, as Andre Campbell is fouled, and a free kick for Ottawa just inside the Charlotte half. So it's been consistently inconsistent for this Ottawa team. That's why they sit out of the playoffs right now in 10th, but a very difficult stretch coming up as they, after today's game against the league leaders, head on the road for 3 difficult matches. 2 in particular look pretty daunting. In Orlando City B, Tampa Bay, and Cincinnati. Certainly Tampa Bay and Cincinnati, 2 of the better talented sides this year. Yeah, they're not at the top, but Tampa Bay with likely the biggest budget in the USL, and some star power like Marcel Schaefer and Joe Cole, having both represented Germany and England, 2 of the biggest countries at international level. And then Cincinnati, a team that's into the semifinals of the US Open Cup and also routinely draws over 20,000 a game. Another side with a very talented roster. So this is going to be a very difficult stretch for Ottawa, starting with this one here tonight, and it ends with a home game against New York Red Bulls 2. That on Sunday, August 27th. So 5 games in 16 days for Fury, as this long ball, Eddie Edward looked to have it covered and takes a skip inside the 18-yard box, and it's scooped up by Canadian international Callum Irving.
Well, 0-0 through 9 minutes, AJ, but you can really see how Charlotte has this attack mindset at all times, always pushing the ball forward, oftentimes finding it along the ground. They move the ball very well. A lot of familiarity among players in this squad. Look at a guy like both Herrera and Enzo Martinez, both in their 3rd season with the Charlotte Independents. So that type of continuity in your squad, always beneficial.
Here's Gerardo Bruna now. Plays this into the 18-yard box, but a little miscommunication, no one making a run, and it's scooped up by the Charlotte keeper, Mizell. You can stay up to date with one of the most prominent 2nd division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars, by visiting USLsoccer.com. You can also follow them on Twitter at USL. Here's Joel Johnson. Estrada. His ball met by Bruna. But Johnson picks it up again, center circle. Plays it forward, now it comes free to Herrera, and he's fouled. Bruna, the guilty party, free kick. Charlotte, unless they're calling the previous foul on advantage. So we're 10 minutes in, 0-0, and certainly not quite a clear-cut chance for either side, but Charlotte's had more of the play in the opposition half. So a free kick dead center. .45 yards out. Played for Joel Johnson near touchline. Lubiera trying to force him into a mistake, and the ball comes back to the captain, Duckett. Wide right, Johnson, just inside the Ottawa half. Quick little 1-2 linking up with Martinez. Now it goes to the wide side, Wechter. Callum Ross. Lays this forward and got away from Ekra, but he gets it back. Johnson. Wide right, Martinez looking to get it back to.
Stops with Lyon and Hull City, to name a couple of them.
Here he worked this forward. Here's Andre Campbell. Campbell with the cross, and this is taking a couple of bounces inside the 18-yard box of Charlotte. Comes back towards midfield, and Barton wins the ball for Ottawa Fury. Played wide left for Campbell. Chests it down, and he is able to keep it in play for Lubiera. Nice little back heel, but it doesn't get to Campbell. And Estrada has it, but loses possession. Bruna back inside the Ottawa half for Ramon Martin del Campo. Venter. Wide right, Barton. Moves this forward looking for Howarth, but it's cleared away, and Ottawa forced to regroup inside their own half. Eddie Edward to Callum Irving. Now Edward towards the halfway line. Moves this across on the right side, Venter. Now Howarth. Wide right, Barton. The captain, Roseboom. Middle of the park, Bruna. Ahead to Lubiera. Lubiera in space, 20 yards out. And his right-footed shot over the bar. Good effort from Azake Lubiera. Goal kick, Charlotte.
When you see goalkeeper Cody Mizell come charging off his line after that misses wide to say a few words to his defense, who just really dropped right off as Ottawa was pressing forward there, and Azake Lubiera, probably the best chance of the match from either side so far, central to goal. Trying to go top right and just missing a bit high and wide.
Charlotte working it back as the effort here from 20 yards out. Not able to get to goal. Now Hilton. Moves this back to Wechter. Wide left, Yearwood. Wechter now to the captain, Duckett. And here's Lewis Hilton, just inside the Charlotte half. Bilal Duckett for Hilton. Duckett chased by Depew. And that works because Lubiera got a piece of it, but unable to gain possession, so that little bit of pressure just about earned Ottawa possession as we're a quarter of an hour in here at TD Place. Ottawa Fury FC 0, Charlotte Independence 0. One touch from Enzo Martinez, and now Martinez plays it for Herrera, just outside the Ottawa penalty area. Callum Ross wide left for Yearwood. Now Ross links up with Ekra. Comes back to Duckett. Halfway line, Bilal Duckett. Plays this wide left to Yearwood. Headed away by John Barden. Howarth looks to win it, and he wins a free kick here in the 17th minute, 0-0. And Fury take it quickly as Howarth still looking for his first goal of the season. Been unlucky with a lot of recent crossbars and posts, but comes down to Lubiera. And Lubiera to Bruna, and return pass. Lubiera going one way, the ball went the other, and it's a Charlotte throw as Andre Campbell pressures Johnson, and Ottawa's going to win a throw in right back. So a long throw here, going to be taken by Carl Howarth. It's led to a goal in stoppage time against Rochester just a couple of weeks ago in a 1-1 draw. Tucker Hume able to get the equalizer. He's on the bench today. We'll hear from him at halftime. Here's the throw. It's headed away as the rain coming down now, and Lubiera tries the volley attempt with his left foot, and that misses high. It'll be a goal kick. The Uganda under-20 international, Azake Lubiera, certainly has some flair and some skill.
Yeah, and he brings a lot of energy to Ottawa's attack, and playing with such pride and confidence right now, and how could he not dream of playing professional? And in his first game as a pro, gets a goal that stands to be the match winner as well. So good opportunity for Azake Lubiera, who I'm sure we'll hear a lot more of throughout the course of the season.
Free kick won by Charlotte just inside the center circle. 19th minute, 0-0. Reminder that every Monday, Ottawa's premier soccer show looks at the world of soccer from local club teams to Ottawa Fury FC. Beautiful game across Europe and around the globe. That's Corner Kicks every Monday at 6 o'clock Eastern Time on TSN 1200. Of course, it was at 7 o'clock on Tuesday last week because of the holiday, but back at the usual time this week as Charlotte gives up possession and Ottawa gets it back. Look forward to talking some Premier League. It was a lot of fun watching some of the games, a lot of goals, a lot of interesting matches this week.
Not as fun as tomorrow morning's going to be, AJ.
I knew you were going to say that. I just feel good about my pick to leave Chelsea out of the top four. It's not an easy pick given the fact that they're the champions.
After today, you look like a genius. But tomorrow morning, my club, Tottenham, against your club, Newcastle. There are 3 people in this building that want to see Newcastle win tomorrow. You, Stadium PA announcer Mike Pearson, and I don't know this for a fact, but I'll go out on a limb and say Charlotte's Callum Ross because he's from Newcastle.
What about Paul Dalglish? He played there.
Nah, he's Liverpool, man.
I would hope he'd still have a little bit of Newcastle in him. 0-0 here, 20th minute. Lubiera goes to ground looking to get it off of Joel Johnson, but wide left Yearwood. Comes back to Ross. Center circle, Duckett. Wide right, Johnson. And Fury gained possession. Good work by Eddie Edward. Now, Depew just about got around Duckett off that ball from Andre Campbell, but he did recover enough to send it out for an Ottawa throw.
Yeah, Depew's had some good touches early in this game, and you know, it's never easy coming into a game when really only had one training session with the club, and that was on Friday, and certainly a bit of a different system than what you might be used to with the Montreal Impact. I think the question on everyone's mind right now, though, AJ, is what did you and Mike Watts get up to this past week?
That's up to me to find the right time for that. But if you are asking,
I thought it was the right time. It was quiet.
All right, well,
nothing was going down.
It's out for a throw. Well, I happen to be in Lausanne, Switzerland this week, of all places, and there was a big soccer conference going on. Zico was in. Michel Platini was going to go on, but they booed him. Started throwing stuff at him. He didn't go up. Then some of the broadcasters went up. We heard from Martin Tyler. And then Mike Watts went up. And honestly, other than maybe Socrates, because he still had the big afro, Mike Watts stole the show with his ideas on soccer. So if you want to stay up to date with the latest USL news and information from around the league, tune into USL Coast to Coast with the one and only, the legendary, the man, Mike Watts. Mike freaking Watts. That's Monday, 9 o'clock Eastern on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Don't forget, Sirius XM FC will also air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times.
Is Socrates afro gray now?
No, he dyes it. I asked him about it. And his English wasn't very good. He was still wearing the real short shorts, though, from like 1982, which was a little uncomfortable.
When you're a legend, you gotta live up to the expectation, I suppose.
Absolutely. 24th minute, 0-0. Free kick for Ottawa here. Inside their own half. It's Callum Irving. Plays it ahead. Flicked on by Depew. Oh, here's a shot by Carl Howarth, and it comes back off the save to Andre Campbell. Nice stop by Mizell. And just like that, Ottawa creates a chance out of nothing. Flicked on by Depew, and then the shot from Howarth, and Mizell very sharp to keep it 0-0.
That's a great save from Cody Mizell and a fantastic effort from Carl Howarth to, as you say, AJ, really kind of create something out of nothing, and he can really let it fly.
As it's flicked on here, and Venter goes after it far post. They almost created another goal off a long throw from Howarth, flicked on towards Venter and got a piece of it, just putting it wide of that far post. Lance Roseboom able to get his head to it before the ball got to the back post and off of Venter. So goal kick in the 25th minute, 0-0.
Good work by Kyle Venter to get in there, and pretty big collision after all was said and done. We've certainly seen Ottawa threaten on many occasions with that long throw from Carl Howarth.
Headed here by Eddie Edward inside the Ottawa half. Move forward on the right side, good ball as that gets to Estrada. But forced back by Eddie Edward, now leaves it for Johnson. And it went off Johnson last. Carl Howarth right in his face. And he'll help Ottawa win a throw along with Eddie Edward. Good work on that left side from Ottawa.
First start for Kyle Venter since the 15th of July against Rochester. Of course, he factors into the lineup tonight with Northern Irishman Shane McElhaney serving the first of a 3-match suspension due to
Ottawa looking for a foul throw and not getting the call. Rubiera will play this back into the Charlotte Independence half.
McElhaney picked up a yellow card in the 84th minute last week, but upon review by the league's disciplinary committee, they determined that it was an intent to injure, and yellow card was turned to a red, and he was also given a 3-match suspension. Second time this year that McElhaney has been given a red card. The first one coming really through incidental contact in the season opener in that 3-2 loss to St. Louis.
Oh, nice back heel here for Martinez, as Martinez gets the right-footed shot and misses near side. That was great work by Herrera to set up that opportunity for Enzo Martinez. These two guys are in sync. Not just the fact that they have 12 goals each, you can tell there's something special between them.
Yeah, well, they've played together 3 years. I was saying earlier, AJ, like that type of continuity, you can't put a value on that. It's so integral to a team. And we've seen that over the course of last year and a bit into this year with some change in roster when players just need to find that rhythm playing with one another, as Andre Campbell gets a hard challenge to the back of his head.
So Campbell
no foul
down.
Called on the play either.
Campbell down, and out comes Seton Pereira to attend to him, as Joel Johnson got away with a foul there.
What's aggravating right now is, like, look, the guy's been fouled, he's down on the pitch, and he's got a swarm of players around him, especially from the opposing team. You just give a player some space.
Looks like he's okay, already up onto his knees and now getting up.
Back to Martinez and Herrera. Some fans who have followed Fury FC for the last few years might remember the name Enzo Martinez. Of course, he featured for the Carolina Railhawks prior to joining Charlotte. And prior to that, featured in the MLS for Real Salt Lake.
Interesting when you talk about Carolina Railhawks, now North Carolina FC, and Charlotte in that Raleigh-Durham area, to the 12 candidates for expansion franchises in MLS. As Ottawa work it to Depew via Carl Howarth. Charlotte gaining possession back before Carl Howarth just about wins it back, but it's Ekra now sending it forward for Charlotte, right into the arms of the Ottawa keeper, Callum Irving. Going down was Enzo Martinez. He's back up and okay. Well, that's going to be fascinating to watch as they look to get to 28 teams. At 22 now, LA, and looks like Miami is just about 100% a go as the 24th franchise with David Beckham and crew as it's sent inside this Charlotte penalty area. Move forward. Ottawa looking for a foul on Johnson again, and nothing doing as Duckett will just send this out of touch for an Ottawa throw. We now hit the half-hour mark here at TD Place. 0-0, Ottawa Fury FC and Charlotte Independence, but a lot of those 12 groups are in cities that have USL franchises, so certainly there will be a trickle-down effect depending on which 4 cities get franchises. Long throw from Carl Howarth, and it bounces for Lubiera. His shot is blocked. Ottawa's looking for handball, but not getting the call. Yearwood got in front of that one. And it's launched forward into the Ottawa half as Eddie Edward is clearly tripped up. And a foul called against Jorge Herrera. Free kick Ottawa inside their own half.
Well, again, Ottawa find a way to threaten on these set pieces, especially the throw-ins. That long throw from Carl Haworth, again, not managed well, and Luboyera gets a chance in the box. There's a shout for a handball, and boy, did he ever have a fair argument there. Caroline Chenard waving it off immediately.
Fury win a header inside the Charlotte half. That was Depew. Now it was wide right. Haworth for Bruna. 20 yards out. Bruna plays this wide right for Barden. Cross for Lance Roseboom. Chips it diagonally, headed away by Johnson. Flicked on by Estrada. And Ottawa wins it back. Here's Haworth. Ball got away from him, and it's cleared back into the Ottawa half. Speaking of franchise announcements, pretty busy week for the USL.
Yes, sir.
Over the course of the next 2 years, the likes of Austin, Birmingham, Las Vegas, all gaining admission into USL. Some great markets there. Luboyera with the ball inside the Charlotte penalty area, but cleared away. And it's moved forward on the right, back heel by Martinez for Johnson. Johnson links up with Estrada, gets it back inside his own half for Charlotte. Chased by Campbell, plays it to Duckett. And his long ball is headed away by Ramon Martin del Campo. Moved wide left, and well, they say Yearwood kept it in on that far touchline. There's Callum Ross to Duckett. Wide right, Johnson. Duckett. Wechter. Minute 0-0. Charlotte still comfortable in possession inside their own half. Is going after it, and then going down was Hilton. Fury push forward now, Bruna. Oh, nice work to get away from two defenders. Now he's got a little bit of space in front of him, 35 yards out. Oh, just, there's probably the Depew's been with Montreal. Other than a brief spell here as Eddie Edward looked to draw a foul, but no call. And it's back and forth action here at TD Place as Haworth now. Quick little 1-2 into the middle. Over to Luboyera on the far side. Luboyera, good work to muscle Yearwood off the ball. Now it's Roseboom, 40 yards out. On the right side for Haworth. Two defenders in his way. Gets it to Barden. Now Luboyera. Into the middle for Bruna. Center circle, Del Campo. And he played it left and thought Eddie Edward was there, but miscommunication. And
yeah, I think Eddie was doing the responsible thing defensively and checking back so that Del Campo could make the run forward.
So throw in for Charlotte, and they work it middle of the park here as comes now on the right side for Callum Ross. 0-0, but it hasn't been dull. There have been opportunities, and the pace has been decent here. Work it forward. Depew trying to spring Campbell, and a good ball. Campbell races after it, and
that's gotta be a
foul against Joel Johnson. And this is going to be a free kick for Ottawa just outside the penalty area, and Johnson finally gets called for one, and that's going to be a yellow card as well.
Nowhere near the ball from Joel Johnson there. The intention was there, but he got 100% of Andre Campbell.
That's a good foul and a good yellow card.
Well, no question. No question. One, maybe two more strides, and Andre Campbell would have been beyond him, and it's a good thing that he made contact with Campbell, because had he not, Campbell would have been home free. So really, really like the touches from Nick Depew inside the first 36 minutes of this match.
So a free kick here, 20 yards out. In the 37th minute, Carl Howarth and Gerardo Bruna looking over it. It is right next to the edge of the 18-yard box on the left side, so certainly the right-footed Howarth would seem to be the more likely option to take it, but it could be sent across by Bruna as well. And here we go. It is Bruna chipping it across to the back post, headed down, and it's 1-0 Ottawa. It's Asake Luboyera in the 37th minute. Great delivery from Gerardo Bruna on the free kick. And it's Eddie Edward with the goal. It's Eddie Edward who gets the last touch, and it's 1-0 Ottawa.
So great for the hometown guy to finally score in front of his friends and family. And it was a tragedy at the start of the season when he scored in St. Louis, but due to some technical difficulties in the broadcast, no one to this date has seen the goal. So everyone asked, has Eddie Edward ever scored? Well, you've seen it now here, and what a fantastic goal and a great delivery from Gerardo Bruna. And Eddie Edward heads Ottawa into the 1-0 lead.
And of course I screwed up the call. Sorry, Eddie. Well, big goal for Eddie Edward there. Second in club history for him. And a 38th minute goal. Great delivery from Bruna though. Well, Ottawa's been full value. They have played a very good first half. This is the maddening thing about watching Ottawa Fury FC. I don't mean to rain on any parades here today. You see them play Toronto FC, you see them play FC Edmonton, you see them play Charleston Battery, you see how they performed today against Charlotte, albeit it's only 38 minutes in. That's why this team frustrates you.
Well, sometimes possession isn't always the name of the game, and we've seen Charlotte with a lot of possession, a lot of movement of the ball, but we haven't seen them with those threatening opportunities like we've seen from Ottawa tonight. We've seen Kyle Venter with the chance, Luboyera with the chance, Carl Howarth with the chance. So the chances have been coming, and then finally right there, Eddie Edward heads home that fantastic free kick delivery from Gerardo Bruna.
Here's Roseboom. Moves this wide left for Andre Campbell with the cross, and it's a good one. And diving forward is Depew, and that goes out for a goal kick, but that was a great ball from Andre Campbell.
Positioned it perfectly, weighted it perfectly.
And here's Depew again, 20 yards out. Oh, good effort with the left foot, and forces Mizell into a save.
Well, you can tell that goal is really giving Fury FC a lift here, and you know who you're playing against. You know that they're tops in the league, and when you come in against a club who hasn't lost in over 2 months' time, you certainly want to go out there and be that side to upset the apple cart and end the unbeaten streak.
As they push forward, Howarth looking to pick out Depew. It comes down to Luboyera. And Campbell is clearly fouled. I don't know what Martinez is complaining about. How do you even complain there?
Well, plays on.
Here's Howarth. Sends it across. It comes back towards Eddie Edward. Played here by Barden. Diagonal ball, Lubuyera. And he'll let it go out for an Ottawa throw. So an Ottawa throw here in the 41st minute. Far touchline Venter. Now it comes to Bruna. Oh, great work to fake that player out. Now he works it for Andre Campbell. Campbell onto his right foot. His shot takes a deflection. And, ooh, Depew just left it there, and as did the Charlotte defense.
And had Depew continued to chase that ball, he would have had a free tap in.
So it remains 1-0 Ottawa in the 42nd minute. And they've certainly been deserving of this advantage. Martinez for Ross, back to Martinez. His ball too far for Herrera. And it goes out for a goal kick. Well, depth in squad is going to be very important over the next 16 days with this 5-game stretch. I will say I don't really understand the scheduling. Maybe you can help me a little bit better. Certainly it's better than CFL scheduling, which that's not that difficult to be better than that, but why would you have a stretch of 5 weeks where you play 4 games, you take a week off, and now you're playing 5 games in 16 days?
I don't have an answer for you. But I'm confident that at some point when you're the commissioner or
well, I'm not looking for the Jake Edwards is doing a pretty good job, so I'm not looking to replace Jake Edwards.
You just always want the top job,
Infantini, I mean, that might be a different story. And then I could just pass along suggestions to Mr. Edwards, who's doing a fine job about scheduling. Why is the team playing 4 games in 5 weeks and then 5 games in 16 days? I don't have an answer. Maybe there is. I'm guessing there's an answer. And I'm guessing it's better than CFL scheduling. Little delay as we get set for the substitution here, and Jamar Dixon's going to come on for Ottawa Fury.
Kyle Venter went down on the far side and immediately signaled that he was going to be done, and that was even before athletic therapist Seaton Pereira could even get over to him. So we'll see how they move this around. Perhaps see John Barden kind of tuck into that right back role.
Now a cross from the far side. That from Yearwood leads to a Charlotte corner here. And in comes Jamar Dixon, so that's the first substitution of this match. And hopefully the injury isn't too serious. Of course, the suspension of Shane McElhaney, the reason Venter back in the starting lineup. Got 1 minute of stoppage time here.
You're already without, as you mentioned, McElhaney. Thomas Maillard-Giguère's also out injured. Ano Bassi's out injured. Steven DeSantos is out injured and likely to be out for a couple of weeks. So certainly hope it's nothing long term. You don't want to be the walking wounded heading out on a 3-game road trip.
Well, 30 seconds left of stoppage time here in the first half. And still a lot of work to be done. I mean, Ottawa against, let's be honest, a lesser Bethlehem side.
Yeah, no question.
They gave up the 1-0 advantage against them last week. It was 2-1 Bethlehem. And that the only game in club history where they've lost a game after leading at halftime. Howarth, ball forward towards Lubillera, who's been very active in this first half. And his chasing down Wechter wins Ottawa the ball back. Bruna again, great skill. Now it comes to Depew. Nice touch on the left side. They're going to have to get this in quickly towards the end of stoppage time. Lubillera, byline for Campbell with a cross, and that is grabbed by the keeper, Mizell. Great attacking football and a great first half from Ottawa Fury FC. They get the goal on the free kick from Eddie Edwards. That's why he was at the academies of Real Madrid and Liverpool as a youth player. And Ottawa Fury FC, certainly they are full value for this 1-0 lead at halftime as we send it down to Sanisha Sindic with the head
Fury
coach,
FC head coach Paul Dalgleish. Paul, 1-0 for your side after the first 45 minutes. The local boy, Eddie Edward, who scores the goal. Just your thoughts of this first half.
Yeah, it's been a really competitive first half. I think it's been really entertaining to watch. There's loads of tackles, loads of fast ball movement, plenty of shots. It's been a really fun half to watch. But it's two really good teams out there playing top level football.
And just, Coach, ahead of a 3-game road trip after this game, how important is it to end on a good note here in front of home crowd?
Yeah, I don't really look too far ahead. We've got 45 minutes here to close out. We need to perform well in the second half. That's all I'm focused on just now.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
There you have it, Paul Dalgleish in conversation with Sanisha Sindic, and that was a terrific 45 minutes for Ottawa.
It was a terrific 45 minutes, AJ. And, you know, you look at it last week against Bethlehem, you could say after that opening 45 minutes, well, Ottawa looked the better side for about 42, 43 minutes, and then they gave Bethlehem life before halftime. I think Ottawa did a really good job. After that opening 10 minutes, when you saw a lot of one-way traffic from Charlotte, Ottawa really starting to creep more into that game and creating chances. And then when they got that goal through Eddie Edward, well, they just kept throwing everything at Charlotte. The most important thing for Ottawa this season, or at least in this game, is finishing this game off and having the exact same performance in the second half as they did in the first half. Too many times this year, you could recap any of their games and say it was a tale of two halves, whether it's because they've been trailing at halftime, they've come back in the second, it ends in a draw, but they need to come out with the exact same performance in the second 45 to come away with all 3 points tonight against Charlotte.
Halftime score, it's 1-0 Ottawa Fury over the Charlotte Independents on a goal from Eddie Edward. Coming up, it's Tyler McDonald, Jenna Mosier with what's trending around USL, and we'll hear next from Tucker Hume. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
Started out when I was younger, you know, like every kid playing, and then was playing every sport. And as I got older, my parents said that, you know, that we just always wanted to continue to play soccer, and that was what we looked like we were having the most fun doing. So just continued to play and gave up other sports to, you know, continue playing soccer. And then was fortunate enough to go to the collegiate level and play and excel there. And then fortunate enough to come here and start my pro career. So it's just been a good journey throughout the whole time. Like, obviously I didn't know I was going to be this big, so I mean, I was just training like I was going to be normal size. But yeah, I mean, just in the summers and stuff, I would go with coaches and do a lot of technical work and play a lot of 3v3, a lot of small-sided just games to get better at with my feet and make sure that you know, that was an area where I wasn't weak in the game. Yeah, I mean, obviously I was super excited for my brother. You know, that's something we've been dreaming about. And it didn't work out for me, but fortunately I was able to get this opportunity pretty quickly after the draft, and so, you know, it made things a little better, but also left a chip on my shoulder, like, to prove and show people that I can be at that level with him. But I mean, just in that moment with my family, we were happy for him, and you know, we knew something was going to work out for me. So just embrace the process and just keep working hard. I mean, that was just the best, having someone always there with me every team I went to, and someone to help me get better, as well me make him better. And so just having those memories playing at a high level and stuff has been a lot of fun and just invaluable to my soccer experience. For me, I mean, just my first place where, I'll always remember this place because it's the place where I, became a pro. But just first time in Canada, and you hear so many things about Canada being from Texas, and it's lived up to with all the cold and the snow. But I mean, it's a good life experience to be here, and I like the city, like this area, a lot to do and stuff.
Up the left side towards Tucker. Hume.
Welcome to the halftime show. We take a look at what's trending in the land of Ottawa Fury FC and the USL. Jenna Moser alongside me, Tyler McDonald. And first off, what a start for Ottawa Fury FC. Great 45 minutes and up at 1-0 here at halftime. Just quick thoughts on the first half for you.
They're playing phenomenal. They're going into tackles hard. They're working as a team. Their touches are great. They're sending great balls through. We just need them to be able to carry the same momentum into the second half. And that's always been an issue. As Graham said earlier, they have to be consistent and continue to get those shots on net. And hopefully, I think Carl's due for one.
Yeah, I think we've been saying that for the past 3 weeks or so. I mean, a fantastic save by Mizell. He's been playing fantastic inside of the Charlotte net, and that's someone that really Charlotte is going to have to depend on here in the second half as well. Now, this game is crucial for Ottawa Fury FC in terms of the standings, trying to get in that last playoff position right now. They do have a couple of games in hand. We'll take a look here at this week to continue this stretch and try to push and maybe get as high up as they can in the standings.
Well, of course, as a player, playoffs are always in the back of your mind, but let your coach deal with that. That's what your coach needs to worry about. For you as a player, what you need to focus on is this second half of the game that's right ahead in front of you, and then you focus on the first half of the following game. Take it half by half, especially the Ottawa Fury, who has had trouble being consistent in their play. They just need to take it half by half and just hope for those wins, or at the least a draw.
Now, in terms of the next few games coming up, we saw Kyle Venter go off with an injury, and hopefully that's not too serious because Ramon Martin Del Campo is also injured, not in the starting lineup, and those are key members that we're going to need on this tough streak that's going to come up for Ottawa Fury FC. It's about 5 games in 15 days or so. It is a very tough schedule on that Florida trip in sorts. We'll take a look at the schedule here. But these are games for Ottawa Fury FC that they need as much depth as they can, and you don't know how long you're going to have Nick DePuy up here, whether or not he'll be recalled back to Montreal. What does a player need to do, in your mind, to continue in their rehab through these tough stretches of games?
Well, every player is responsible for their own health off the field as well. So they need to continue to eat right. They need to continue to take rest when they have the opportunity to do that. As for the coaching staff plays a big role too. They've got a great bench going on right now. I mean, today's bench is pretty deep.
Yeah.
So you know what? Rotate your players in and out. Use them accordingly. If you want to give some of your good players a rest, give them a little bit of a break. But Coach Dalglish really has an important role. And right now it's going to be his managerial skills that are going to be really important for this stretch of games.
Ryan Williams, a key member that's come off injury, he's on the bench here. We might see him in the second half depending on how the scoreline goes and whether or not he'll get some minutes in for him. That's a man that's going to be hungry to come back and hungry to try and get back in that starting position, isn't he?
Yeah, and I think we've really missed his physicality. He's not a very tall player, but he's a strong, solid player. And I think they've been really missing that presence up front. So hopefully when he does come off the bench, he comes out there doing exactly what Ryan does every time, playing 120% and creating opportunities for the other players that he's playing with.
Well, we know Charlotte's going to come out strong in the second half. We'll see if Ottawa Fury can play a full 90 minutes and hold on to this 1-0 lead. Whether or not the score line will change.
Of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to savethefood.com.
The USL has expanded its soccer reach this week, announcing 2 new expansion franchises. Birmingham, Alabama has been announced as the first expansion franchise to join the league in 2019.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure on behalf of the USL to welcome Birmingham into the USL for the 2019 season.
Currently known as USL Birmingham.
You guys have been amazing for us. We can't say thank you enough for your unwavering support. Without fans, we're not standing here. And so thank you guys. I really do appreciate that.
More information and advanced ticket sales can be found at uslbirmingham.com. Las Vegas will be the third and final club to join the league for the 2018 season.
This is our team collectively that we are going to make into the best professional soccer team that we can. And I can't be more proud to be part of all of you and to bring professional soccer to Las Vegas.
The club will call Cashman Field in downtown Las Vegas home, and the name is up to the fans. Visit VegasProSoccer.com through Monday, August 28th to cast your vote. Las Vegas will join the league in 2018, and Birmingham, Alabama will begin play in the 2019 season. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it.
You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing.
I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels.
After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak.
Meals on Wheels, coming to my door as someone who's housebound, having someone check on me, assures me that I'm not forgotten.
Meals on Wheels has given me a mode of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise.
We're the clients.
We are the clients.
We are the clients of Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back inside TD Place. AJ Jakubik, Graham Ivory with you as we get set for second half action between Ottawa Fury FC and the Charlotte Independents. Ottawa with a 1-0 lead, courtesy goal from Eddie Edward off the free kick that we'll see shortly in our highlights. Terrific free kick delivered by Gerardo Bruna. But let's have a look at the first half stats. They're brought to you by Rico, making information work for Ottawa Fury FC. The shots 8-3 Ottawa, possession 60-40 Charlotte. Ottawa the better team, though, in the first 45 minutes, and well-deserving that 1-0 lead.
Yes, stats do not lie there, AJ, and I think you have to only look at the one where it says shots. And 8-3, the shots in favor of Ottawa, and there's been numerous opportunities, and it's pretty much everybody midfield forward for Ottawa that has created opportunities. That being said, we've seen a good chance from Kyle Venter, and of course the goal came from defender Eddie Edward, but even the new guy, Nick DePew, he got in with a good opportunity, had a good hard shot. Carl Howarth, man, this guy's just due, isn't he not? Like, the chances that he's had have been fantastic as we have a look at some of the highlights from that opening 45 minutes.
Yeah, for our television audience, here are the highlights, and they're brought to you by Budweiser. And for Ottawa Fury FC, really not too many opportunities at the other end. The best chances coming their way, forcing a couple of saves from Mizell. Kyle Venter with an opportunity at the far post before he went off injured. And here's this delivery and a terrific header from Eddie Edward off the Gerardo Bruna free kick to give Ottawa the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and you know what? A couple things on that play. One, you see the foul that was delivered on Andre Campbell. There was no need for that. And yes, it was a well-timed foul, because had he not taken that foul, well, it could have been home free for Andre Campbell. But it set Ottawa up in a very dangerous position. Now, where the setup was, it certainly looked like Carl Howarth would be the one more favored to take that free kick coming from the left-hand side and him with the right foot. But that delivery from Gerardo Bruna was spectacular. And throughout the course of that opening 45 minutes, how many times did we see Gerardo Bruna just with the slightest touch to turn off an attacking midfielder or a defender, just, even looking the opposite way just to send a player the opposite way from where he wanted to go. For me, that's one of the best half of football we've seen from Gerardo Bruna and Fury colors, and it's so fantastic to see him back healthy and playing at such a high level for this club.
Yeah, when he's playing like this, he is one of the most skillful players in USL, that extra touch of class. And just nice to see him healthy and able to play at or near his best. So I think the best is yet to come for Gerardo Bruna here in Ottawa.
Well, much like we're talking about Carl Haworth trying to get that first goal of the season, how great would it be to see Gerardo Bruna score his first goal ever with Ottawa Fury FC? And he's certainly deserving of it with the way that he's playing. Doesn't go for goal a ton, but he's certainly found himself in the right spot a lot this season. Really interested to see how Charlotte comes out to attack this second half. And I think the opening 10 minutes are going to be very important for Ottawa.
Mizell, the keeper. Yearwood, Wechter, Duckett, and Johnson the back four. Estrada and Ross in front of them. And then Hilton, Ekra, Herrera, Martinez. That's the 11 for Charlotte as Jamar Dixon has it on the right-hand side. Moves it into the middle for Gerardo Bruna. And Ekra wins the ball away from him, but does it in a fashion where he commits a foul. So Ottawa with a free kick dead center about 25 yards out. Irving the keeper. You've got Campbell, Del Campo, Edward, Dixon, Barden, Roseboom, Howarth, Bruno, Lubiera, and Depew, the 11 for Ottawa Fury against Cito, Tucker Hume, Ryan Williams, Adonai Reid, Sergio Manicio, David Palme, the backup keeper, all available on the bench. They can use two of those substitutes. It's Casey Townsend, Kainoa likewise, Henry Kalungi, June Marquez Davidson, David Spies, and Jaime Siai on the bench as Bruno goes for goal and skies this one over the Grey Cup sign in behind the supporters section. And it is a goal kick for Charlotte, moving right to left in the second half with their all-white kits. White shirts, white shorts, white socks. Fury with their all-red kits moving left to right in this second half. The red shirts, red shorts, and red socks. And free kick going Charlotte's way. As they work it forward to Herrera. On the near side, and this is cleared by Dixon. It'll be a throw for Charlotte from the halfway line. And this ball from Wechter does not get to Yearwood, and it will be an Ottawa throw from the halfway line. 48th minute, 1-0 Fury. Looking to end this 12-game unbeaten run, 8 wins and 4 draws for Charlotte. And more importantly, a win will put them back into 8th in USL East. They would have 2 games in hand on the team level in points with them, New York. They would have a game in hand on the team 2 points back of them, Orlando. And they would be 3 back of Bethlehem, 4 behind Cincinnati, who sit 6th and 7th right now. As Eddie Edward concedes a throw here. Howarth's ball intercepted, but Fury get it back through to Depew. Now Charlotte. Estrada. Comes back to Wechter, across for Duckett. Wide left, Yearwood. Wechter. Now Duckett. Wechter. Diagonal ball. And this goes off Charlotte last, and it'll be an Ottawa throw in the 50th minute.
Oh, tempered start from both sides, AJ, and truth be told, I thought Charlotte would come flying out of the gate a little bit heavier here in this second half.
Free kick for Charlotte, taken quickly. They move this wide right, Johnson. Now the cross from Ekra, that doesn't get in. Comes back out, and Duckett will play this, but not past Campbell. Now Ekra for Charlotte, comes into the middle. Here's Estrada. Now it comes wide left, Yearwood. Good curling ball that just doesn't get back to Ekra at the far post and goes out for a goal kick.
Austin Yearwood in his second season with the Charlotte Independents. He's actually a Charlotte native. One of the hometown boys featuring for the Charlotte Independents this season. You're talking about some of the substitutes also available. You mentioned Marcus Davidson, the Japanese player that we have seen already here at TD Place when he featured for Carolina Railhawks, another former Railhawk that's part of the Charlotte Independence side. He also featured for another Canadian club in the Vancouver Whitecaps.
One of the highlights of Charlotte is the NASCAR Hall of Fame. I'm not even a big NASCAR guy, but it's the interactive area where you go and basically pretend you're driving the car and you're right in the race. And then you can pretend you're in the pits. I don't really care for that pit stuff, but the driving's a lot of fun. So next time you're in Charlotte, Graham, make sure you check out the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
I've only had the Rally Durham experience.
Oh, here's Bruna now with an opportunity, and Bruna with the left-footed strike. It was a mistake by Charlotte. Bruna adds a goal to his assist earlier. He has been absolutely brilliant here this evening. And that goal in the 52nd minute makes it 2-0 Ottawa.
Oh, what a game Gerardo Bruna is having. And the first career goal for the Argentinian as a member of Ottawa Fury FC. Such a fantastic touch and a clinical finish from Gerardo Bruna to spot his squad a 2-goal lead here in the 52nd minute.
Well, you can see that coming the way he has performed throughout the game, although again a bad Charlotte error allowed him to gain possession when Charlotte looked to be in a pretty good spot in their own half. Hence me talking about the NASCAR Hall of Fame. So Bruna and Edward with the Ottawa goals, and Charlotte's got their work cut out for them. I mean, don't count them out yet. When you go on a run like this, you've got a lot of confidence even when you're down, but right now they've got a big hill to climb if they're going to
no question.
Get,
this is
at least a point to keep their streak alive at 13 games.
Yeah, it's too good of a team to count out of any match, and when you have two players who both remain on the pitch with 12 goals each this season in Herrera and Martinez, and it looks like Herrera is set to take the set piece for Charlotte.
Here's Herrera, 22 yards out, and he drives that towards the back post. Not a great effort from Herrera, and here comes their first substitution. David Estrada comes out.
Giagi.
I don't see how that's on the pronunciation guide.
Sorry. Siagi.
Okay.
Ignore me.
Siagi. I think it's Siage. I'm just looking at the pronunciation guide. I'm going Siage. He's in.
Well, to use your NASCAR conversation, you're in the driver's seat, AJ, so we'll go with you.
Jaime Siage is in. And out is David Estrada. 55th minute, 2-0 Fury. As they work it wide right, Charlotte does. There's Johnson. For Duckett. Wide left and way over the head of Yearwood.
We're talking about Marcus Davidson, a former Vancouver Whitecap, as is Bilal Duckett, the Charlotte captain. Also featured in the MLS for DC United, has also played with Rochester Rhinos.
Nick DePue, who's had a nice game for Ottawa, able to beat one defender, forcing Duckett to come over and concede the throw. Carl Howarth will look to take this long as Ottawa gets some bodies forward. 4 players inside the 18-yard box, including Ramon Martin del Campo. This is headed away. Comes to Bruna, though. Lubillera. His ball takes a bounce, and it's picked up by Mizell, and Charlotte will work it back the other way. Here's Yearwood. Moves this ahead towards Accra, but comes back to Martinez. His ball met by Bruna. And Bruna trying to spring Lubillera. A little too far for him, and Duckett comes across to avoid any troubles for Charlotte. Leading 2-0. Here's Wechter, halfway line. Head for Accra, now Callum Ross. Cross for Duckett. This ball deflects out for an Ottawa throw, 58th minute, 2-0 Fury.
Well, I said, AJ, that I'd be interested to see how the first 10 minutes of this half plays out, and I was saying that really thinking that Charlotte was going to be pressing very hard inside the opening 10 minutes, but rather static for the most part, and when Ottawa's had their opportunities, they've made them pay. And again, I've seen it not as often as when they started the season, but at different phases of a game when they play with that high line of pressure, especially when they catch a team kind of stuck inside their own defensive third, and that's what helped lead to that goal from Bruna.
DePue with the touch to the left side, trying to spring Lubillera. And now DePue making a run, but offside flag is up against Nick DePue. 59th minute, 2-0 Fury. Ball goes off Siage and out for an Ottawa throw. Well, this, if Ottawa can hold on, this would be a real confidence booster for them heading into a very difficult stretch of road matches beginning midweek on Wednesday at Orlando.
Well, and that was the comment from head coach Paul Dalglish throughout the course of this week, was that, look, this is a big game, not just because of who we're playing and what 3 points and how badly 3 points really are needed right now for this club, but when you look at how this Charlotte team has been going over the last couple of months, where they are in the standings, the points that are needed. And this could be the shot in the arm that the club needs, especially heading out on that grueling road trip. Today marks the first of 4 games over the course of the next 11 days.
And again, 5 and 16. I think it's 4 and 12, isn't it? We'll figure that out.
Like I said, you're in the driver's seat.
Either way, they've got a lot of games in the next 2 weeks. How's that? As Fury push forward here. There's Jamar Dixon on the right side. Dixon trying to beat 2 men and goes down. Referee says play on. Probably not much in that. Oh, Del Campo reads that ball well, and with a powerful header back into the Charlotte penalty area. And back come the Independents. I think I know where the 11 comes from. There's a game in 11 days, which would mean it's still 4 games in 12 days.
You got it.
Either way, a lot of games in a short period of time. Here's Howarth now. Pulled back, and yeah, no doubt about that. That's a free kick. Should probably be a yellow card, too. And it is going to be a yellow card. And that is against the newcomer for Charlotte, Jaime Siage. So free kick for Ottawa just inside their own half, 62nd minute. And a 2-0 Ottawa lead. And now they're called for a push-off inside the Charlotte penalty area. A little bit of a warning here to Nick Depew from Caroline Chenard, the referee. Hilton comes back to Wechter, wide left, Yearwood. Ball forward, and this is scooped up in the penalty area by Callum Irving, who, to the credit of the 10 men in front of him, hasn't really been tested here this evening. Depew. Seen flashes. Charlotte started pretty well, and you thought in the first 5-10 minutes. That's a real good play by Bruna to get it to Carl Howarth. And now Bruna's going to be called for a foul, free kick inside the Charlotte half for the Independents. And now another free kick given here as Howarth knocks over.
You can start to see a bit of frustration starting to creep in among the Independence players. Now it looks like Adonai Reid will be Paul Dalglish's second substitution.
Jamar Dixon just flattens Enzo Martinez. I mean, certainly a foul, but I don't think there's much more to be done outside of that. He's just standing his ground, and Martinez got pancaked. Wasn't quite Bryant Mitchell on Serdarius Bryant pancaked earlier this week.
What about the hit in the Argos Als game last night?
There's the, we'll get to that in a sec. The delivery here on the free kick from Hilton, and Ottawa able to deal with this as Campbell makes a run down the left side, slows down. 2 white shirts on him, and Charlotte does get possession again. Fury win it. No, they've got numbers going forward. Here's Depew with a man to his left, a man to his right. Goes left to Lubuyera. Has to really hustle to keep it in play, and they say it goes out, and that's a missed opportunity for Ottawa.
Well, I think the better option was to his right. Carl Howarth had a lot more space.
Yeah, either way, they had a lot of space and the numbers. And
that'll be the last touch of the night for Zake Lubuyera, as Adonai Reid will enter the match in his place. Third straight match since making his debut. We've seen Zake Lubuyera, and sure, it was a dream debut for him, but I still like the effort that we saw from the Ugandan here tonight.
So Reid in, Lubuyera out.
Well, we have a brief break here. Have a look at the out-of-town scores across the USL. The Charleston Battery, through 63 minutes, have a 1-0 lead over Red Bulls 2. In Harrisburg, the City Islanders trail the Pittsburgh Riverhounds 2-0 through 65 minutes. In Richmond, the Kickers trail Orlando City B 1-0 through 63 minutes. And at halftime, Louisville City home to FC Cincinnati. Louisville find themselves ahead by a 2-0 score. A couple more matches kicking off at 8:30 this evening as well. Rio Grande Valley Toros home to Didier Drogba and the Phoenix Rising. Swope Park Rangers also kicking off at 8:30, as are the Tulsa Roughnecks. They're hosting OKC Energy.
Attacking Charlotte here on the right-hand side, 67th minute, 2-0 Fury. Good work by Andre Campbell against Ekra, and this will be a Charlotte throw. And now here's the second substitution for Charlotte. David Speece in for Callum Ross. So both teams have used 2 subs as we approach the midway point of this second half. Fury leading 2-0, and now here they look to catch Charlotte on the counter. It's Rose Boom. Good work by Siage to win it for Charlotte, tracking back. Now across towards Herrera, headed away, comes back into the middle. Long effort from Hilton, that's blocked. Depew wins it for Ottawa, now to Adonai Reid. Young 17-year-old, Rose Boom. And this ball down the right channel by Jamar Dixon goes out, looking to spring Reid. It's a throw for Charlotte inside their own half. Johnson for Charlotte. Moves this ahead and comes down to Ekra. 69th minute, 2-0 Fury. Hilton. Ekra. Leaves this forward on the right side. Comes in for Herrera. Herrera just inside the Ottawa penalty area. A lot of red shirts in front of him. Does give it a go. It's blocked. Now Ekra plays this wide right, and it will be out for a goal kick, Ottawa Fury FC.
Well, the one thing that you can say through 69 minutes is Ottawa did their homework this week. First half, have that right-footed effort that he hit off the outside of the boot, missing wide of the goal, but that's really been the one threatening opportunity between those two players. A few too many touches there from Herrera on that last play. There was no way he was going to get it through that wall of red, and he had options to either side of him.
43-60 the attendance tonight at TD Place. As Siage makes a run to the byline, and good work from John Barden to make sure he didn't get beyond him. Does concede a Charlotte corner. And they're really looking to up their urgency and pace as it's taken quickly. Into the middle, Martinez. His ball deflects out for a Charlotte throw. Charlotte works at Ekra. Now Hilton. Wide right, Johnson. Spieth with the ball in. And good work from Del Campo to clear it away. Depew. Trying to gain control of it, now hold it up, and he does both. Now Bruna one touch. And the foul called on Adonai Reid.
Yeah, and had that been hit about 3 seconds earlier, the foul would have gone the other way as Adonai Reid was being pulled up, and then when he finally able to pull himself free and turn onto that ball, fouls his man. Great work by Jamar Dixon.
Dixon wins that ball there on the near side, and Adonai Reid plays it back to Barden, now to the keeper Irving. Head for Andre Campbell. He's got some space in front of him. Campbell inside the Charlotte half, making the run up the middle, takes a deflection and comes back to the keeper Mizell. 72nd minute, Ottawa Fury leading 2-0. And the type of performance that's very encouraging when you see them play like this, when you see them play the way they can at the top of their level. This good move here towards Siaj, takes the ball from Hilton, his shot blocked. Comes back to Ekra. Couldn't get that ball to Spieth, and Fury will send it back into the Charlotte half. Hilton, his ball deflects. And Bruna wins it for Ottawa. Gerardo Bruna. Now to Howarth, quick turn. Ball for Depew, and flat-footed as that ball came in and couldn't get to it. So Charlotte looks to attack again. Down 2 in the 73rd minute. Good work on that far side by Adonai Reid to win the ball for Ottawa. Now taking on 2 defenders, and he'll earn a free. While we have a moment, I want to pass on our condolences to the family of Brian Murray, hockey royalty in the Ottawa Valley and area. Brian passed away today at age 74. A moment of silence taking place beforehand here at TD Place. Certainly his hockey accomplishments terrific. As a free kick goes back Charlotte's way, but what he's done off the ice and in this community, just a terrific gentleman, a terrific hockey man, and a terrific community person. Battled cancer, and rather than keep it silent, he wanted to go public with his battle so that people would go and take a colonoscopy for early detection of various cancers. And I know Brad Shaw, the ex-Ottawa 67, tweeted today about how it urged him to go and get a colonoscopy done, and he was able to find something early that might have been a lot worse had he waited. So, a true gentleman, true hockey man, as it's worked in on the left side, and it is 2-1. finished here by the substitute. It is Spies. 2-1 the score.
Well, much like we saw some opportunities in that first half from Ottawa where they made something out of nothing, that's something that we saw there from Charlotte Independence, and cut inside and just a quick switch off, losing their mark, and certainly straddling that back line and raising questions of whether it was offside or not.
So that goal in the 75th minute from Spies makes it 2-1, and we're in for quite the finish here.
Yeah,
just a
game on with 15 minutes to go.
Just to finish my thought, yes, condolences to everyone in the Murray family, as Brian has touched so many in this community and elsewhere. Well, look forward to a great finish here. And we knew, even at 2-0, it was not going to be easy with a team. When you've got a team that has so much experience and is on that roll winning games, it's tough to get that final dagger in. And that's what Ottawa's going to have to do here in the last 14 minutes plus stoppage time.
No question. We talked about it at the end of the first half and said that they needed to replicate their performance of the first half into the second half, and really we've seen a lot of that from Ottawa up until that last play. You know, last week that 1-0 lead over Bethlehem, needing to find a way how to close out a game. Unable to do so there. We saw it against Rochester, trailing 1-0, able to come back late in that game, but Captain Bilal Duckett has been given a yellow card there, likely for some form of commentary with the official perhaps.
So Charlotte looks to attack through Ekra. His ball intercepted by Andre Campbell, who beats one man to the inside, looks to feed Carl Howarth, and he does get the ball eventually after a mistake from Wechter. Couldn't spring Depew, and it remains 2-1 Fury, 78th minute.
Well, just like the play a little while ago where Depew went out to his left and should have gone right to Howarth. Howarth, instead of going to Depew, might have had the better option if he could have fed that through to Adonai Reid, who had a little bit more space and perhaps a better gap.
Good work by Andre Campbell, left back, who is able to deflect the ball out for an Ottawa throw right near the far corner flag. This is where you see what your team is made of, needing the 3 points. You just concede a goal, and again, against a very confident group that can score a lot of goals. 43 goals now for this Charlotte side. And this is where good teams close out, and we'll see if Ottawa can close the deal here with this 2-1 lead. A 79th minute free kick for Charlotte. Far touchline. 25 yards out. Here's the delivery. Swirled into the penalty area, and oh, the deflection goes out for a goal kick. They did get a touch on that, but it went wide of goal, but a great curling ball in on that free kick. Duckett, who got his head to that, but just couldn't put it on target.
Had it been on target, it would have found the back of the net as Callum Irving with a charging run out and dove to punch it away, but Duckett was able to get his head to it first.
Charlotte working it near touchline. And here's Depew trying to win possession away from Ekra. Not sure why they're calling a foul on Depew there, but it is a free kick for Charlotte, halfway line. As we enter the last 10 minutes here at TD Place, Ottawa Fury FC leading Charlotte 2-1. But Charlotte coming hard here late, really pressing to keep this unbeaten streak alive. 8 wins and 4 draws in their last 12. Yearwood moves it back out. A long shot coming in from Martinez. That was very speculative, and it is a goal kick for Ottawa.
Well, since David Spies came into the game, he's pushed further forward, and Enzo Martinez has dropped a little bit deeper into the midfield. Oftentimes trying to come back to collect that ball, but he was going to need to be dead on from that distance. And under pressure, and Cody Mizell hooks that one right into the Fury bench. And when they press high, take away that time and space, you often force errors.
So an Ottawa throw near touchline. Barden will take this. Trying to get it in for Depew. Gets a touch to it. Howarth to Depew. And now Charlotte looks to counter, but Spies loses possession. Now the ball for Reid. Here's Reid on the left side, and just couldn't get much on it as the ball took a deflection, and Charlotte still in this one, down 2-1, 82nd minute. Ottawa's had their chances to put this away. Charlotte keeps hanging around as they attack now on the far touchline. Eddie Edward battling for position and making sure that Ottawa wins a goal kick here. It was like it was indecision. He didn't know if he should cross or shoot, and in the end it was really neither. Adonai Reid on that opportunity. And that happens when you're a young kid. He's a talented kid. He's got a bright future ahead, but it's still pretty new, everything in the professional game at
no
17.
question. Very green, very raw, but found himself in space, and definitely a takeaway for himself the next time he gets into that opportunity. Checking some of the out-of-town scores, it's now 1-1 between Charleston and New York.
Ooh, great work here again by Bruna to win it. The ball goes towards the far corner flag, and great work by Adonai Reid just to keep it in play. Now the cross, and that's cleared away by Duckett.
Well, Carl Howarth just a bit heavy on that pass, looking to connect with Reid once again, but what a valiant effort to keep it in play. Boy, has Ottawa ever looked dangerous on the counterattack a few times this evening.
And again, it was all started by Gerardo Bruna. 84th minute now. 2-1 Ottawa Fury FC. Ball just goes inside the Ottawa half. And free kick given up by Del Campo, taken quickly. Here's Herrera, just outside the penalty area. A couple of step overs, left-footed shot, and that stays out. It looks like it was heading wide, and the save is made anyways by Callum Irving. Didn't want to take any chances, and so it'll be a corner here in the 85th minute for Charlotte, near corner flag. And Herrera will take this, right-footed low drive, cleared away by Andre Campbell. And again, lots of space going forward, and the flag is down for Adonai Reid. Moves it to the right side, Andre Campbell. Here's Campbell. Has Howarth to his left. Campbell onto his left foot, he shoots, and that takes a deflection. And the keeper, Mizell, picks it up, and wow, Entertaining stuff.
Campbell had that one cut and then an opportunity with that left foot to play it across to Carl Howarth, then elect to cut back onto his right.
Near touchline. It's played back to Hilton by comes back to Duckett. It was Yearwood who played it to Hilton in the first place. Now Hilton with the ball now for Ekra, middle of the park. Johnson lays this ball into the Ottawa penalty area, and effort from Siage on the volley, and that misses wide. 86th-minute goal kick for Ottawa, leading 2-1.
Sergio Minicio headed to the bench, getting kitted out, set and ready to come in as Paul Dalglish's third and final sub. We'll probably wait till the next break in play before he comes in. And perhaps one of the benefits with some of the substitutions made tonight by Paul Dalglish is that it gives guys like Ryan Williams, who's been out injured.
Here's Adonai Reid, another opportunity. Adonai Reid with the right-footed effort in the 87th minute. It's his first professional goal, and Ottawa Fury FC looks poised to end this 12-game unbeaten run by Charlotte. 3-1 Fury.
What a fantastic finish, and you talked about the chance he had earlier, AJ, and was kind of caught in two minds. Well, complete decision there, and Adonai Reid, his first professional goal, continues the night of first for Ottawa Fury FC. Fantastic finish, 3-1.
They've been fantastic this evening, Ottawa Fury FC. Just absolutely fantastic. And clearly their best effort in USL this season.
Oh, hands down.
So Reid with the goal, and Fury looking to score again here. It's Carl Howarth now holding it up and gets past two players. Now to Depew. Here's Nick Depew to the byline on the left side. Holds it up and plays it to Andre Campbell. Now Depew. It's towards the corner flag. Now to Andre Campbell, beats a couple of defenders. And the ball just got away from him on the byline. And this will be a goal kick for Charlotte as we see the third and final substitution for Ottawa. And I hope this man gets a nice ovation. Gerardo Bruna. He's been the best player on the pitch today by a wide margin.
Yeah, no question. This is his best game in Fury colors, hands down. And that's not just because he scored tonight. He was having a fantastic game through 45 minutes, and that goal early in that second half in the 52nd minute just put the icing on the cake. He comes out with a goal and an assist tonight, and Gerardo Bruna is a big reason why Ottawa's about to end this unbeaten run of the Charlotte Independents.
So Sergio Minicio in, Gerardo Bruna out, 89th minute, 3-1 Fury. New York Red Bulls 2 in a 1-1 draw right now against Charleston. So technically, this win won't put Ottawa into the playoffs. As Fury look to attack again on the right side, it's Adonai Reid, 20 yards out. Reid couldn't get past Yearwood. If New York hangs on and gets a point, Ottawa would likely stay where they are, with Orlando winning as well. But they'd be a point back of New York and Orlando, and with 2 games in hand on Orlando and 3 games in hand on New York. So that, in terms of points per game, would at least put them in a playoff spot. Getting word there will be 3 minutes, a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time. Oh, and I'd like to see those tag Hoyer. Get that on the board, like they've got in the English Premier League. Send some of those over. Those look pretty fancy today.
You just want the watch that comes with it.
No, I don't wear a watch. As Fury work at far touchline. Nick Depew. Into stoppage time now. And Charlotte needs a miraculous finish with two stoppage time goals to earn at least a point and keep this streak going at 13 games. But now Ottawa with a free kick inside their own half.
Oh, good grief. Just getting a chance to look at the replay there, and Carl Howard just gets the elbow right in the side of the head from Herrera. Jeez, that one was clear as day. If you're going to review Shane McElhaney's foul from last week, there was no card given there to Herrera, but have a second look at that.
Center circle. Benicio looking to win possession here. And he at least wins Ottawa a throw with those fresh legs on the far touchline. Well, this will be a big confidence booster, and that's a massive game on Wednesday night in Orlando, again against a team that'll be 1 point ahead of them. Ottawa will have 2 games in hand. Both teams will be coming off the same schedule. I don't know Ottawa's travel schedule, but I would think this is a rare trip that they can at least get a direct flight to Orlando.
And they'll fly out on Tuesday. They'll remain on the road for the entire road trip.
Fury again attacking. It's Carl Howarth. Howarth gives it a go from distance, and that misses wide, and that might be the last chance of the match for either side. Still looking for his goal of 2017.
When he scores, it's going to be like a JG Pajot night, and he'll get 4 in a game. You watch.
As Fury again attack. Andre Campbell. Hilton holds him off, and now Charlotte with likely their last attacking play of the match, and Eddie Edward boots that into the 8th row, and that does it for this one here this evening. Goals from Eddie Edward, Gerardo Bruna, and Adonai Reid, his first professional goal. Give Ottawa Fury FC a well-deserved 3-1 win over the top team in USL East, the Charlotte Independents, ending their 12-game unbeaten streak, 8 wins and 4 draws in that stretch. And Fury with their best performance in USL play this season. You could certainly look to the Canadian Championship, where they played brilliantly, in particular against Toronto FC, but this was a terrific effort from an Ottawa side that certainly showed that they can compete and beat the best in this league.
Well, and it was said last week after the loss to Bethlehem and in the week leading up to it that to beat the first place side, Charlotte Independents, they were going to need their best game of the season, and they'd have to play as close to flawless football as possible. And that was as close to a 90-minute game as we've seen from Ottawa this season. I would argue top 10, maybe even top 5 game we've ever seen in Fury FC history. That game was exciting from the get-go. It was intense. You saw offense. They ran at the ball. There was like end-to-end action. That was fantastic, and it just the cherry on top was that Fury FC came out with that 3-1 victory.
Man of the match. Well, some games it's tough to pick, and tonight, well, there's a lot of different players that were candidates, but Gerardo Bruna certainly stood out. 1 goal, 1 assist, and just that extra bit of class on the pitch tonight.
Yeah, no question. That was the best match we've seen from Gerardo Bruna in Fury colors, bar none. Gets his first career goal with the club, and it's so great to see him back healthy and playing at a level that when you saw his resume, you knew what type of player he could be, and we're starting to see him come into that here in Ottawa, and you can only hope that as he remains healthy, has a game like tonight, that's just going to only help his confidence build. And what a huge confidence booster this game is, going into that road trip and taking on against Orlando City B-side, that is a team that Ottawa's going to battle with for those playoff positioning.
Our next broadcast comes to you on Wednesday night, first of 3 in a row on the road at Orlando City B. And then they've got games at Tampa Bay on Saturday, and then Wednesday at Cincinnati in front of what should be a crowd of somewhere around 20,000. They always have terrific support at Nippert Stadium before returning home Sunday, August 27th to host New York Red Bulls 2. On behalf of our entire crew, our producer Mike Sutherland, for Jenna Mosier, Tyler McDonald, Graham Ivory, I'm AJ Jakubek saying so long. The final score tonight, Ottawa Fury FC 3, Charlotte Independence 1. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This has been Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
This copywritten telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.